All right, so the prepared remarks are done. The official numbers are out. And now it's time for the real show. This is when Wall Street analysts get to grill Disney's top brass, CEO Bob Iger and CFO Hugh Johnston. So we're going to break down that Q&A session to figure out what they're really worried about and excited about when it comes to the future of the Magic Kingdom.
Look, a lot was covered, but the questions really boiled down to 5 key themes. We're talking about their massive bet on streaming for ESPN, this grand vision for a Disney super app, whether the theme parks are still crushing it, the pressure on the movie studio, and of course, the big questions looming over everyone, AI and mergers. Okay, let's dive right into the biggest topic, the one that came up right out of the gate. It's all about what might be Disney's most important strategic shift in years, taking the sports behemoth, ESPN, directly to you, the consumer.
I mean, we've been hearing whispers about this for what feels like a decade, right? So naturally, the very first question was, so, how's it going? Is this massive, expensive bet actually working out in these early days? What are they learning?
So Bob Iger's answer was pretty interesting. He basically pointed to 3 big wins so far. First, they're grabbing people who were never part of the old cable TV world. Second, existing cable customers are actually using the new app features. And third, they're signing up a whole bunch of those cord nevers, people who only want sports and nothing else. It's a mix of old and new customers.
But here it is. This is the killer number. This is the one that really tells the story of their whole strategy. Iger said that a whopping 80% of the people signing up for the new ESPN streaming service are also buying the Disney Plus and Hulu bundle. That tells you everything. ESPN isn't just a sports play. It's the front door to their entire streaming universe. And this, right here, is the end game. Iger calls these bundled subscribers healthier. Now, what does that mean? It means they stick around. They don't just sign up and cancel a month later. In the streaming world, that churn can absolutely kill your business. So this is Disney's plan to build a loyal and, more importantly, profitable subscriber base for the long haul. Now, that whole bundling thing is actually just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. Let's move on to the next big theme, which is this idea of turning Disney Plus into way more than just a place to watch movies. We're talking about the central hub for the entire company. So one analyst just came right out and asked about the plan to turn Disney Plus into a super app, and Iger didn't even hesitate. He basically said, yep, that's exactly it. He called it a portal to all things Disney. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's a pretty ambitious roadmap. It's not going to happen overnight. It starts with just cleaning up the brand, making it super clear that Hulu is for more adult stuff. Then they start bolting things on. You'll be able to shop directly in the app, book your next vacation to the parks or a cruise, and eventually, they'll weave in things like gaming through their big partnership with Epic Games. It's a huge vision.
Okay, so from the digital world, let's switch gears and talk about the physical one. With the economy being a little shaky, analysts really wanted to know if people are still willing to spend big bucks on Disney's parks and cruises.
The question was really direct. Are you seeing a slowdown? Are bookings still as strong as they used to be? This is a huge deal because it's a major sign of how regular consumers are feeling about their wallets.
And the answer from the CFO, Hugh Johnston, was pretty clear. He shut down any of that worry pretty quickly. He said domestic park bookings are actually up 3% from last year. So despite all the chatter about a slowdown, demand is still incredibly strong.
And they're not just sitting back and enjoying the ride either. They are pumping serious money into future growth. We're talking 2 brand new cruise ships. They're expecting a huge boom in merchandise sales from their upcoming movies. And get this, they have expansion projects happening at every single one of their theme parks around the world. They're building for even more demand. And speaking of that movie slate, let's turn to Hollywood. This was another key area of focus. Can the movie studio, which is really the engine that powers so much of the Disney machine, keep churning out those massive blockbusters?
Iger's response to this was pretty simple. He just pointed to the pipeline. He called it one of the strongest they've had in a long time. And, just look at this list. We're talking sequels and spin-offs for Zootopia, Avatar, Toy Story, Moana, a new Avengers movie. It's just hit after hit after hit. Every single one of these has billion-dollar potential written all over it.
All right, finally, let's look at how Disney is thinking about the future, specifically 2 of the biggest disruptions changing the entire media industry, artificial intelligence and the constant talk of giant company mergers.
With all the rumors flying around about who might buy who in Hollywood, someone asked what Disney's plan was. The CFO's answer was pretty blunt. He basically said, "We're good." After buying Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, they feel like they have all the pieces they need.
So don't expect Disney to be making any huge acquisitions anytime soon.
And on AI, Iger had a really balanced take. On one hand, he sees it as a massive opportunity, a way to make their streaming apps cooler and to save a ton of money. But, and this is a big but, he was also very clear about the threat. He said it's imperative that they protect their iconic characters and stories. They're not going to let AI devalue their crown jewels.
So after listening to all the questions and all the answers, what's the big takeaway? It feels like for the first time in a while, the vision is crystal clear. This huge, interconnected strategy is all laid out. The question isn't what's the plan anymore. The only real question left is, can they pull it all off? The biggest challenge now is just execution. Thanks for watching.